Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first. I have bingo-y tiles, but I don't have a bingo because of the duplicates. So I think I'm going to get rid of the two O's, keep EIRT. Well, I do now have a scoring tile in the F, but I still have duplicates. Now, I think Freitier is good through an R, and an R is now available. Do I have a 7 with this rack? If I do, it would play in column 11 because Morn takes an E. To an S, I would have Ferreties, but Ferrety without the S isn't good. So I think I'll go with Freitier. I have a slight doubt about this, but I think it's good. Great, I thought that was going to come down to the triple word square, and it doesn't quite. Freitier 67. Not a great rack, duplicate W's and the B. I'm going to struggle to play off all 3 of those scoring tiles, but I'll be looking to play off 2 of them. War is good, WAW. At the moment that plays at the bottom of column 8, making we and R. But the bottom of column 8 is quite hot, so that spot may go. Well, it's been obstructed. Great bingo by my opponent, jousting for 82. Now, jousting takes an S. I think that may be one of the new words that's come in, but what it means is that I can play wars down here. $52 points, which is good. Now, one possibility for an alternative play would be Nawabs or Buanas. And, well, let me remember this score, 52. And now see what Buanas scores. Okay, I only have 1A, so I'll go back to Wars. Am I missing anything better? I don't think I can score more than 52. Great, I draw the blank. I have Baladin on my rack. My opponent challenges, and that shows that joustings is good. But I was fairly confident that it was. Now, what I'm doing now is looking for a bingo with this rack. At the moment, I've got a 30-point lead and my opponent's on turn, so there's not much between us. But if I can bingo, I could put some space between us. I'm wondering about Baladine. That plays at the moment in row I, making my and on. That might be good. Let me squiz through the alphabet and see if anything leaps out at me. Nothing so far. Now, what about the blank as an E? No. Blading will be good, I'm pretty sure. And balding, of course. Nowhere for those at the moment, and my opponent provides nothing. So let me see if I can see anything which does fit. Nothing so far. Nearly Inky Lab. Ribald as a 6. Bandily, I don't think so. Okay, well, do I try Balladine in row I? It'll be annoying if it comes off. So what are my options? Well, there's the R of Freitier. Surely I have something through that R. Rindable, not good. It just looks like there's something there. Breadline as a 9. Well, I can't see anything. But I'm convinced that there is a bingo through that R. But Balladine is still available in row I, but I have a doubt about it. So how do I find the R bingo? Well, apologies if this is dull, but I'm sure that there is something here. That looks like it could be the set of tiles, but Rindable, not good. Blandia, not good. So I have Bird and LAN blank. What about Birdland? Not sure about that. How am I doing on time? 14 minutes left. That's blading. That certainly doesn't go. Handbill through an L. Still haven't seen anything. I'm looking now at this rack with an R added to it. Still nothing. How annoying. Unrivaled? I don't think so. I'm going to try Balladine rather. And I feel very doubtful about it. It's possible my opponent may not challenge it. Balladine 69. I'm waiting for it to disappear. If it doesn't, I've got the X for score. But no fabulous X spots are available. Wow, Balladine stays on. Maybe it is good. So where can I play my X? I've got 30 minutes left, 53 tiles in the bag. I need to catch up on some time. Morn takes an E. So maybe I can play something in column 11. Can't see anything there. I could play XO and Joe. KO takes an R from my rack. Can't extend it any further. So XO and Joe. XO also plays underneath Balladine. Anywhere else? What about column 8 at the bottom? Can't see anything there. Lav takes an E. So let me see what XO scores down here. That's 29. And I think it's the same underneath Balladine. In which case I will play it underneath Balladine because in the lower position, my opponent could score well in row N. I think this provides fewer opportunities. It's still not a great score, only 29 points. But I need to speed up a bit. That's pretty good. Through a T, I would have tree line. Only the floating R of Freitier available at the moment. Through a D, I would have Needlier. No great two-letter set, so I'm going to struggle to score with this rack. I can play teal at the bottom of row, column 8, which would sort the rack out. Only 16 points. My opponent changes, fantastic. Now I've got a 90-point lead. $16 points. Just pausing in case there was an available bingo. I don't think there is. Well, more 1-point tiles. So again, I'm going to struggle to score, and the duplicates mean I'm unlikely to have a bingo. But I'll be looking to play off an A and an N, and probably one more vowel to keep the vowel consonant balance correct. I don't have an O for going in front of BE at H2. I'm looking around at the scoring tiles on the board to try and increase my score. So there's the J. I could play Nan. Or I could play Earn in that spot. Actually, Earn's going to score 30 points. That's more than I was expecting. It does burn the E, but there's plenty of those still to come. Sparth, yep, that's fine. And high-scoring bingo by my opponent. He comes right back into the game. And I'm unable to respond with a huge score. Let me see what Earn looks like. Not very good at all, since Aun isn't good. So what about Reen? Reen is 24, not great. Can I do better than that? Well, I think so. What about Earn down here? $25, slightly better. I can't play a 5-letter word in this spot because it would require 3 consecutive vowels. Well, I think I will go with this. Good in the sense that I have no duplicates and I've got some scoring tiles. Not so good in that I don't have a bingo. Great, my opponent hasn't had a massive score, so he's 30 points behind. I'm on turn. I've now got the O for going in front of BE. But I don't have anything for going in front of AX. I'm just pausing in case I do have a bingo, which I haven't spotted, but I don't think there is one here. Now I can play Yob across here. 34 points, that's a good score. And if my opponent now plays in row N, he'll be opening up row O, and I'm quite happy to have a little ladder coming down to the bottom left, given that I've got a lead. Can I do better than this? I don't think so. Although, if I did have a bingo ending ERY, it would score quite well. Gabbionery, I don't think is good. Not great. More duplicate tiles. I'm going to struggle to sort this out. I don't have an O now for going in front of BE. Okay, the ladder continues. I don't have an S for going after jog, so I'm looking for a 3-letter word. And the best I can do is can. Let me see what this scores. 26 with a dreadful rack leave. Still 3 A's and 4 I's to come. But it's not a massively hot spot because unless you burn the S, it's only open to 3-letter words. So maybe I can do better. 7 minutes on my clock. But where else can I play? I know row E is quite hot because an S can go in front of mutt and there's still 1 S to come. What I'm looking for is a move which has a better rack leave. And I'm wondering about playing in column 14. A 5-letter play would expedite the end of the game and disrupt the row E bingo lane. So it would be a 5-letter play ending in A. Well, I've got Asini, but that doesn't end in A. Acing doesn't play. Well, I'm going to go for score and see if I regret this. 26. Well, pretty miserable. But I do now have Gonia and Am in column 14, which would sort this rack out. Exactly where my opponent's played for quite a big score. He's now only 15 points behind. I do have an I for going after the Q. And although quite scored well, it has disrupted the smut bingo lane. Now, how can I make this bigger? I think that's the best I can do. 22 points, not great. But it is closing the board up. In terms of bingo lanes, really there's only column 11 now for bingos ending, well, S or E, so that is quite hot. Can I play something in column 13 instead of Ain? So it could begin G or O or N. Well, I can't see anything. Well, what about Goa? That keeps 2 I's. I don't want to do that. I think I will go with this. Quite promising. I don't have an E for killing off the Morn lane, so if my opponent bingoes in column 11, I'm going to be in a tricky spot. But I may be able to close that off by playing from the F in row G. So maybe a play of Farad would work. 16 tiles still in the bag. Now I have an R for going in front of Axe, so I could have a something OR play. Nothing goes in front of LO. $20 points for my opponent, which is good. Bed takes an A in front. Axe only takes an S. So that's not particularly hot, just available for 2-letter words, really. Farad isn't going to score massively, and it opens up this triple letter square for the P or the H or the C. And if I place an I here, the Z could go on it, so I don't want to do that. I'm struggling here with scoring tiles, a lack of them. Now M takes a G in front, so do I have a 4-letter play which ends in G? Or a 5-letter play with G in 4th place? I don't think so, but it also takes an R in front. I don't know about Goar, G-O-A-R. I should know that if it's good. I don't think Gare is good. I think that would be quite a good spot to play if I was sure of a word. Now, what about just playing Goa? It keeps quite a tight rack leave, and if another ladder develops down here, that will be obstructing column 11, and this is quite a good rack leave. 23 points is also good. Wow, look at that. That's what I call a rack. Do I have a bingo? Well, I have tirades in column 11, so I do. MI takes an A in front, so if I had a 7-letter play ending in A, that would play. There are quite a lot of bingos with this rack. Aridust, Asterid, Astride. Tirades gets blocked. Hoy takes an A in front, so do I have anything? I don't have a tile to go in front of P, so column 11 is not a bingo lane. I've got only 3 minutes on my clock. Do I have a bingo ending in A? I don't think so. Wow, only 3 points between us. This would be a great time to bingo. Do I have a bingo ending AN? So an anagram of strain, de-strain. 7 tiles left, and I've only got 2 minutes on my clock. What about row N? No, that's not a bingo lane. Well, I'm thinking about playing Daz across here just to keep the scoring going and keeping a balanced rack leave. 30 points is good. Daz, I think, rather than Daz. I draw the Z. I'm glad my opponent hasn't got it. Great, he's slowing down in terms of score. Where can I play my Z? Do I have anything which goes in front of Oat? Because then I could play ZA something. Well, Coat. Can't see a play there. Do I have a Z play ending in A? Can't see one. Do I have a play which places the Z on the triple letter square here? Can't see it. Well, I am aware that the time is very short. I haven't seen anywhere good for the Z. I've only got 1 minute left on my clock. There are 2 tiles in the bag. Now, what was I thinking of playing? I had a play in mind and it's just gone out of my mind. Well, let me just play Zip, which wasn't the play I was thinking of, but I am very short on time now. Great, no scoring tiles left, and I've got about a 50-point lead. My C can go in front of Oat, so I could play Sit, C-I-T. My C can go in front of Ha, but nothing goes in front of ER. 33 seconds on my clock. That's a shame. I was going to go there. No tiles left. I just want to avoid going over time. That was probably pretty poor. I don't have an out. I can play down onto this D. I can play rind. Where can I play now? Suffice to say that I totally lost on time. As in lost the ability to play well. I can't see an out here. I may get stuck with a tile. "13 minutes on my opponent's clock, that's where all my time's gone." He's been playing very fast and I hadn't appreciated that. I can't do anything great around rind. I can see it and ret. I could play E and hope. I can't see anywhere to go out. I may get stuck with the R. That sometimes can be a tricky tile to play. I'm not sure any of my options I've suggested play it. I can play Suri and Re for 8 points. My opponent certainly should be able to go out in 2, which means I only get 1 more play, but it's possible that he might not. I'm 37 points ahead, which I think is going to be enough. Quite a grim end to this game. Whoops. Pretty sure I have gone over time now. But I don't think it's going to cost me the game. 2 points, dearie me. Now, can my opponent play his U anywhere? He may be stuck with it, in which case I'll play my double E. Well, I'm in no hurry now because I think I've lost the 10 points for going over time. He's passed. Great. He's stuck with his U, so I can play Shri and Re. And now I can play E and hope when he passes again, which I think is going to be best. 11 points. Right, that ends that. Win. Final score, 416 for my opponent, 461 for me, a winning margin of 45 points. So a dire end to the game. Complete meltdown and crappy plays and going overtime. So pretty tragic, really. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first. I could have played Uri for 12 and given my opponent lots of floaters, but I think changing and keeping EIRT was better. A good 4-letter rack lever is a lot better than a good 2-letter one, and changing provides no floaters. Now, my opponent had the blank. He played Morn. This was my rack, and I played Frightier, and that was the only bingo. My opponent's rack, he played Jousting, which was a great spot. Now, I played Wars for 52. I could have got 6 more points by playing Borns, but their keep of WI is nothing like as good as BIN. And Bournes opens up the triple word square at h15. But I suspect there's not actually a great deal between those plays, but Wars is fine. My opponent's rack, he plays Ko. Now, I really struggled here. Wow, look at that Bylander. That's a very high probability 8. Balladine was good. Good. Now, the plays I missed were Blinkard, Bylander, and Bardling. And certainly Bardling and Bylander would have been better than Balladine, but I was glad to spot a playable bingo. My opponent's rack, I think he has Ventrals. Yes. Played Lav, and this was my rack. I played Exo. I could have got a few more points for Oxen, placing the O next to this double word square. Well, yeah, probably not much between those plays. My opponent's rack, he changed, and this was my rack. Tree line without the T, no bingos, a whole bunch of low-scoring plays, and I managed to find one which was even lower scoring, but I suspect my rack lead was better. Let's have a look. I kept EINR. Yeah, EINR is better than all of these rack leaves. My opponent's rack, great spot by him. Sparth for 87 and several other bingos. And I wasn't able to hit him back hard. L15. Now, did I... I think this is where I played Earn. And what did that keep? EARN. Kept AIN. Yeah, AINE would have been better in terms of vowel consonant balance. My opponent's rack, he played Mutt. And I played Yob, and I think that looks fine. My opponent's rack, he played Fog. Now, this is where I played Can, and I didn't like it. I scored 26 points and kept a vowel-heavy duplicate rack leave. I could have got the same number of points and had a much better rack leave with ACI at J11. Lagging down here, that would have been a better play. My opponent's rack, he played Quite. Ager for 38. That would have been a great play. Well done if you spotted that. I didn't. What did I do? Something quite weak. Ain for 22. Yeah, Ager, a lot better play. My opponent's rack, he played Ide. And again, this is quite a hot spot because Logia plays at the bottom of column 11 in the same spot as Lagan did last go. The rest of the moves pretty low scoring, including Goa for 23. But look at the rack leave after Goa, ADIR. Quite nice. My opponent plays Hop, and that good rack leave matured into a fabulous rack. And wow, there was a bingo here. B8 through ON. Look at that. D rations for 68. That would have been a great bingo. And at a great time, 3 minutes on my clock, it would have emptied the bag, and I wouldn't have got into time trouble. What did I do? I played Daz for 30. Okay, it has its merits, I think. Well, I'm wondering about D-rations. D-rations would have emptied the bag. The remaining tiles are bingo-y, so my opponent could simply have bingoed out and ended the game and caught me with the Z. So maybe Daz was better. I don't know. It would have to be analysed. Now, my opponent's rack, he played Via, and this is where I started to melt down. With 2 minutes on my clock, I played Zip, which actually I was quite grateful for spotting. G11. I'm just wondering what this play was that I saw, which then left my mind before I could say it or remember it. Well, it wasn't Res. Okay, it wasn't any of these. So 34 points for Zip. My opponent's rack, he played Die. And now with 33 seconds left, I began a run of dreadful moves. Now, Cremonese E7, where's that? Oh, wow, look at that through MI and the S. Very difficult to spot, but a very nice play. I suspect I didn't do any of these. Maybe I did Char, which really left me in a lot of trouble in the sense that if I played off several tiles, I could probably go out in 2. So a play of centre, for example, at D5, centre onto this A would have left me with IR, and I suspect I could have gone out with that. Anyway, not to dwell on that. My opponent played lag, and, well, dismal prospects here, but maybe a play of retina would have been the sensible thing to do. Instead, I panicked and played rind. Let's see if my opponent could have gone out. No, he couldn't. But he plays lie and leaves himself with a U, and he then was unable to find a use for it. I could have gone out at this point with remit through MI. I didn't see that. It for 2. Now, could my opponent have gone out? No, he doesn't have a play. Okay. This was my rack. Again, I could have gone out with Aya, except at this point I know my opponent can't go out, so I'm better off playing out in 2. And I think 3 followed by double E was best. So actually the final 2 moves were okay. It's the 2 or 3 before that which were pretty ropey. Anyway, exciting game and a win by a small margin. My opponent did well to catch up and stay close until the end, and it made a pretty nerve-shredding, made for a pretty nerve-shredding end game. So I hope you enjoyed watching that and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.